out of trust. I just wanna say your name and fall in love. Can we take a different route and fall in love right now? I don't wanna say too much, baby, can we just pipe down? Why you been running away from me, oh girl, just come sit down. You get me so proud, little baby, you give me sight. Oh, wait on me, oh pretty girl, please wait on me. I don't wanna talk like she in my piece, I don't wanna talk like she in my I just wanna talk like she love on me. Say something, don't run from me. Baby, oh girl, can you show me things? Baby, oh girl, can you show me? I show love a couple times, baby girl, can you tell me why? Baby girl, can you tell me why right now? Tell me why right now. Tell me why right now. Tell me why. Tell me why right now. 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 Tell me why. Tell me why right now. Tell me why right now. Tell me why right now. Tell me why.
Well, been a while since I've done one of these. Just been slacking, I guess, Anyways, today is an interesting topic because today I'd like to talk about how to make success the only possible option. Let's get into it. There is 4 things you need in order to guarantee success in a nutshell. You need a good work ethic, you need a good mindset, you need certain beliefs about yourself, and you need time. In order to have success, you need to have an amazing work ethic, and you need to have enough time to even see results in the first place. You see, the problem is we tend to become so discouraged when things don't go our way the first time around. And that is why the majority fail. We don't fail out of luck most of the time. And sometimes we may not even fail due to a lack of skill. But it's simply because we don't give ourselves enough time in order to see results. Allowing ourselves to make mistakes long enough to see big enough results that may have been as early as around the corner. We as people are impatient. It's within our nature to want things as fast as possible. But there is only one way you can actually shorten the amount of time that it takes to succeed. And that is through a continuously evolving work ethic. There isn't any shortcuts in reality. In a nutshell, work hard and work harder than last time. Eventually, you'll be compressing substantially amounts of time that will pay off big time. But it has to do with continuously raising our standard on what working hard actually is, and to build it up from there. Uphold your standards continuously so that you become less tolerant for the unnecessary and become attracted to what actually is necessary. In all actuality, we won't know what it means to work hard until we put our first 1,000 hours into something, a particular craft. It is then that we realize the cost that it takes to actually get good at something. It is not being able to do anything else but that one thing, that one particular thing. To continue improving the level of quality that we put into something over and over on whatever it is that thing you decide to put your time in. And it means to cut out things that won't put you on that path to learning that certain level of mastery you wish to have on that one thing. And if you want to attain that certain goal, you start to realize that there aren't a lot of things that put you on that route towards improvement of that particular skill. Things start to become a form of procrastination because you're putting off everything else on hold in order to do that one thing, as there are only so many things we can do at once. At the end of the day, the work itself does not care about anything else but getting done. Me taking the time to make this video is, in a way, a form of procrastination on other things. Like, I am doing this one specific thing and I'm putting everything else on hold. I am making this video while I could be reading a book or, catching up with friends or whatnot. But instead, I am doing this thing in particular, which doesn't allow me to do anything else. But that can also be a good thing, because some things are worth doing more than others, and some things will bring of more value to your life than other particular activities. You have to prioritize certain things that will make your life better, rather than something that will be, don't get me wrong, of more fun in the short term, but won't get you where you want to be a couple years from now. It puts you on the right path towards the person that you want to be. Now, the second thing is never measure your goals based on outcomes. It is never good to measure anything based on outcomes. And you see, when you make the accomplishment the ending, you put the goal itself out of your control, which doesn't determine whether that will be that one thing that will make you truly happy. When you make the goal end-based, you put off happiness and satisfaction you could be getting out of right now. And when something is less satisfying, you are either less likely to do it again or continue going. Instead, measure it based on how hard you work and that you can leave everything on the field knowing you have tried your hardest and for that reason you have nothing to regret. But the bar has to be set to a realistic standard, one that will continue to increase so that you don't settle for less, but one that isn't too high to the point that you want to give up. You see, a lot of people make the next jump or the next obstacle too hard for themselves, in which for that reason, they end up giving up. It is why a lot of us go from hobby to hobby, because we get to a point where we challenge ourselves too hard to the point that it discourages us to continue going. That is why we quit. So again, you have to make that bar to make sure that it's high enough so that you don't settle for less, but that one that is too hard to the point where it's too challenging for you. Because when it's too challenging, then it's not satisfying. And when it's not satisfying, you are less likely to repeat it. No one likes losing. Losing damages our pride, but losing as something that seems almost impossible but eventually does to quit. So it's all about finding that right balance. One method, which I'm deemed to be a good standard, is to simply work on whatever you're doing and work on it as hard as you possibly can with the knowledge, context, and judgment you have at the current moment. Later on, when you have already put in the work, reflect on what needs to be improved. Learn the thing that was needed when you needed it previously and apply it for next time. It's as simple as that. It's either that method or the route to quitting in which you fall short to your own standards, which will make you think doubtful of yourself, or you can choose one that you willingly and consciously accept, which that is you work as hard as you can based on your current materials, knowledge, and situation to the point where there is nothing left to be done. And you, out of your own knowledge, are aware that you can't do anything else to improve because you have perfected everything that you know up to that point. Now you see, the power of identity is important. The more you tell yourself something, the more you will revolve yourself around that certain beliefs. Be conscious about what you consistently tell yourself, as it'll either boost you or create a deeper hole that feels like it's harder to get out. Identity is the first step to crushing certain habits you want to destroy and creating ones that you think will benefit you. A lot of our self-esteem is built around our beliefs. In that case, we want to be more positive people, then it starts within the roots. Don't get it twisted. The opposite of joy is not sadness, but hopelessness. If there is no hope for the future, then there is no joy. And again, never set your goals to a specific milestone because it never leads to a specific set of directions for yourself to create measurable, step-by-step actions to know that you are for certain heading in the right direction. If you're making a book, never set your goal to, I want to sell 10,000 copies. And instead tell yourself, I will work so hard that it becomes unreasonable for me not to sell 10,000 copies. Then all of a sudden, the goal becomes completely within your control and you have more power over what you can specifically do in order to achieve that certain goal, rather than making the outcome itself the goal. Meaning you think that once you make it to the end, you'll be happy. And half the time, that's not even true. You have to work so hard that it becomes almost unreasonable not to get what you want. You see, if you want to sell a book, the goal should never be to sell 10,000 copies, but rather that you work so hard that it's almost unreasonable not to get 10,000 copies. If you make that switch, the goal all of a sudden goes within your control. And that applies to almost anything. If you can make that goal, or if you can make that step, or if you can make that mindset shift in which in your head, you're able to gain control of this goal by doing certain things that will lead to that outcome, then things start to become a lot easier to understand. You see, we have to be conscious about what it is we describe ourselves with, because it can either be a curse or a burden, or it can be something that will uplift us. You have to be careful what you describe yourself with, because it is that you revolve your identity to be around. It is a belief that you have rooted within yourself. So be careful about what it is you consistently tell yourself, in which it is what you will become. What you tell yourself is what you will become. And well, I think that is everything that we wanted to touch for today. Just be careful what you tell yourself with. Make goals so that it becomes unreasonable not to obtain that goal. Make sure you give yourself enough time to actually see results. Make sure you have that good work ethic. Make sure you have that good mindset, and make sure you have good beliefs about yourself. Then you're unstoppable. Well, that is a wrap for today's video. If you enjoy this sort of cinematic style of content, I'm sure there'll be plenty more to come. Again, in the near future, hopefully. Let me know in the comments so I can see what I prove upon for my people, as we are all in this together, just trying to become better versions of ourselves. I'm rooting for you, and I hope you have a good day. God bless.
Tell me, can we start it from the start? Baby, is this between us? No, it gets so hard right now. I just gotta trust. I just wanna say your name and fall in love. Can we take a different route and fall in love right now? I don't wanna say too much, baby. Can we just fight down? Why you been running away from me? Oh, girl, just come sit down.